Couple more minutes until it strikes 9:15 when I said I was going to start this video, so I will wait a little bit. If you're just joining us, tell us kind of where you're watching from. I just wanted to kind of go over some new documents that were released about the Barry Morphew case. I'm just going to kind of go over them and kind of see what you guys say in the comments and answer any questions. So I just wanted to hop on here real quick. These documents were brought to my attention. Some people in Chaffee County are a little concerned. Hi, Laura from Texas. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's a little late. Tennessee, Big Jim, hello. Hey from Florida, hello, Kristen. New York, hello, Scout. Loveland, Colorado, Georgia, Bailey, Colorado, Texas, Evergreen. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I wanted to hop on here and kind of let people start going through. I'm going to kind of take it from the date of when these documents were filed. So it kind of goes in order. So I just wanted to give a little bit more time for people to join. Arkansas, Nashville, New York, Missouri, wow. All over, New Hampshire. Someone says, I'm in Salida, curious what's going on. Brandy, hello. Okay, well, I will start going over these court documents. So this document is an order amending bond conditions. It was signed by Judge Patrick Murphy on September 20th, the day that Barry Morphew was released from jail on a $500,000 bond. It was filed at 8:14 in the morning. And it says, after speaking with probation supervisor Katie Post over the weekend, the court has learned two things. First, that Intervention Incorporated, which is the private probation provider in the 11th Judicial District, can provide a GPS monitor. The court was told otherwise last week. So when we were going through, when the judge made his ruling, we were informed that there wouldn't be GPS monitoring, but now after speaking with Intervention Incorporated, they can provide GPS monitoring for Barry Morphew's ankle monitor. Secondly, the intervention coordinator in Chaffee County has a social relationship with one of the Morphew children. It doesn't state who of the children that they have a relationship with. Therefore, the court orders 1, location monitoring be through a GPS unit. 2, maintenance of the GPS unit will be through the Fremont County Office of Intervention Incorporated, and monitoring will be through the Jefferson County Office of Intervention Incorporated. So this is outside of Chaffee County. It says number 3, in addition to traveling outside of Chaffee County to meet with his attorneys, Iris Eaton and Drew Nielsen, Mr. Morphew may also travel outside of Chaffee County to service and maintain the GPS unit. I hope that makes sense to everyone. So he can leave Chaffee County to meet with his attorneys, as well as do service and maintenance work to the GPS unit, to his ankle monitor. This was again filed September 20th, the day Barry Morphew was released from jail at 8:14 a.m. And this was signed by Patrick Murphy. Okay, the next order of business. So that was at 8:14 a.m. This one at 9:23 a.m. on September 21st. So the following day this was filed. This is filed from Intervention Technology Report. So it says the above named defendant, Barry Morphew, was ordered to comply with GPS monitoring. I hereby certify that as of this date, September 21st, 2021, and this is signed by the Executive Director of Intervention Incorporated. The defendant reported to Intervention on September 20th, 2021, as ordered by the court to begin GPS monitoring. Intervention respectfully informs the court that the GPS monitor is unable to pick up a GPS or cell signal in the area of the defendant's home. Due to this lack of GPS and cell signal, the GPS monitor is unable to provide any communication information or location points when the defendant reaches the area of his current residence. Due to the lack of communication and location points, Intervention is unable to provide the court with any battery or tamper alert information when the defendant is at or near his residence. Intervention respectfully requests further direction from the court on continued GPS monitoring requirements. Again, this is filed September 21st, the next morning at 9:23 a.m. when he was released. So he was released September 20th on a Monday, and this was filed September 21st, the Tuesday at 9:23 a.m. So pretty much the company who's supposed to monitor his ankle monitor says that when he is at his current residence, they can't get location points or monitoring his movements, I guess, because of the cell signal in that area. And so they can't provide to the court if the battery or if there's a tamper alert information when Barry Morphew is at this house. Okay, this is filed again at 9:23 a.m. September 21st. Next court document is filed at the same day at 10:22 a.m. and this is filed by the people of the state of Colorado. This is filed by Linda Stanley, the district attorney. It says People's Motion to Modify Bond Conditions. It says, come now, the people of the state of Colorado, by and through Linda Stanley, District Attorney for the 11th Judicial District, and respectfully request the court to modify bond conditions in order to prevent the defendant from residing at, it's an address, Maysville, Colorado, also known as the Cushman residence. So this is as soon as we were hearing that in court, after the judge made his ruling that Barry Morphew would be able to get out on bail, $500,000, that he had to reside in Chaffee County. He wanted to reside with his daughters in Gunnison, but the court was like, no, you have to stay in Chaffee County. A woman in the courtroom, I believe his name is Gusti Cushman, she volunteered her it's like an Airbnb vacation rental property, which is really, really close to where Suzanne Morphew and Barry Morphew used to live. It's hundreds of yards, you could say. So she volunteered her place for Barry Morphew to stay at. And this is what they're referring to, and it says also known as the Cushman residence. And the address here, I believe, is a little wrong. It says 10987 Puma Path Drive, but really it's I think it's 19087 Puma Path Drive. But anyways, and these are the grounds for this motion that the people inform the court as follows. So this is the day after Barry Morphew is released on bond. This is filed by the people. Number one, the people have been made aware that the defendant has proposed he will live at a vacant residence frequently used as an Airbnb or vacation rental in the Monarch Estates subdivision. And in parentheses it says Cushman residence. It says number two, the people request the court to enter an order that would prohibit the defendant from residing at that location for the following reasons. A, the Cushman residence is only a few hundred yards away from the where Suzanne and Barry Morphew and the daughters used to live. The people have requested the defendant be ordered to stay away from the Puma Path residence requesting modification of bond conditions. So in parentheses, it says, see motion filed on September 19th, 2021, requesting modifications of bond conditions. So this is a motion that was filed to modify where his bond, where he could be out on bond. And number B, it says the Cushman residence is in the same neighborhood and is near the Ritter residence, and then they give the location of where the Ritters live. And remember, Ritters, it was Jean and Martin Ritter who were also on the protection order, witness protection pretty much, because they're the ones who called 911 or the Chaffee County Communications to ask for a welfare check on Suzanne. There was the one that initially kind of start this whole thing with the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office to get the ball rolling. And they've asked for no contact with Barry Morphew. So this is saying that the Cushman residence is very, very close to where the Ritters live. They said, see, this is letter C now, or yeah. It says the Ritters have been very clear that they do not want to have any, in all caps, any contact with the defendant. Therefore, if the defendant is allowed to reside in their neighborhood, this will undoubtedly make the Ritters, at the very least, uncomfortable and possibly not wanting to continue to reside at their home any longer. And then letter D, it says, if the defendant resides at the Cushman residence, he will undoubtedly find it difficult, if not impossible, to abide by the orders of the court. And then 3, it says, the people have every reason to believe the defendant is paying rent at a residence in Salida at 315 Poncha Boulevard near the courthouse. It makes sense for the defendant to reside at this residence instead. And I believe that residence is Shoshone Dark's home. And this is says respectfully submitted by Linda Stanley, as well as Jeffrey D. Lindsay, the senior deputy district attorney. And this was dated September 21st. So this is right the day after Barry Morphew was released. This was filed. So those are a couple of documents that I kind of wanted to go over real quick that was, brought to my attention. And this is before Shoshone Dark was arrested for trespassing on the Puma Path property, which is right next door to where they were staying at the Cushmans. So I did a report on Fox 21 News about that. You can read it on fox21news.com. Thank you, Amy. That was really sweet. So I just kind of wanted to quickly go over that. If you missed earlier, once this gets posted, you will be able to go back. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I do know that Shoshone Dark has a court appearance on Thursday of this week, October 7th. Yes, October 7th. And that is in regards to a, what's it called? I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank. What is it? Now I'm gonna have to look it up. A protection, not a protection order. Not trespassing. It's not for those documents. It's for a different case that does not involve what happened with the trespassing. A restraining order. Thank you. I could not think of the word. Yes, so October 7th is a court date for a restraining order against not someone who was who owns the Puma Path house. It's not against that person. It's against Shoshone Dark. And it's not filed by the people who own the Puma Path house. I wanted to make that clear, that it's someone else that wanted to file that. And I hope to do another story maybe after the October 7th hearing about that, because it is very interesting and it does, I believe, connect to the Barry Morphew case. But it is not filed by the homeowners of the Puma Path house. I just wanted to make that clear. So, and then also Barry Morphew will be, I believe his next court proceeding is October 13th, which is next week on Wednesday. People are asking what's in the box. Well, I tried to make contact with Shoshone Dark because I have talked to her before, and I wanted to know, like, was it a simple, like, it got delivered to the wrong house? Was it Barry Morphew's package? Was it her package? Whose package was it? What was in the package? Things like that. And when I reached out to her, her attorney, Shoshone Dark's attorney, called me and left a message saying that they wanted to say no comments. A lot of people are asking if it was supplements. I do believe a family member of Barry Morphew had posted on Chaffee County's Sheriff's Office website or Facebook post about it, as well as my Facebook post about it, that it was some type of, it's called Spark, a supplement that I guess he's taken for a really long time, and it accidentally got delivered to the wrong address, his old address. But again, that's not confirmed. I could not get that confirmed through Shoshone Dark or her attorney, so we did not report on that because we couldn't get confirmed. So yeah, I mean, the family or the people who live at that Puma Path home wanted to file the trespassing charge after they saw the surveillance video of a woman who at the time didn't know who that was, taking a package from their front porch. And again, the people that own the Puma Path house now, they don't live there full time. It's kind of like a vacation home. A lot of those homes in that area are like Airbnb and vacation homes for family members and things like that. So if you're just joining me, I went over a couple of new documents that were filed either the day of or the day after Barry Morphew was released on a $500,000 bond from jail. And it's really talking about his bond and also where he can reside. The state is really wanting him to not be able to reside in Maysville, in that area, in that subdivision where Suzanne and Barry Morphew used to live. The state is really wanting him to live where Shoshone Dark lives, in Salida, near the courthouse. So I believe that when Barry Morphew was back in court on October 13th, that they'll likely discuss these motions that have been filed. My foot is about to go to sleep. So if you guys have any questions, I wanted to kind of make this short, just because I want people to kind of go back and listen to my initial, what I had said from the court documents. Maybe I can try to figure out how I can post them on this video. Do you guys have any questions? I think a lot of people are wondering, at least I've gotten questions tonight from people who live in Chaffee County, is if they knew that his GPS monitor on his ankle was not notifying the company of his locations and things like that when he was living, or when he was residing at where he's supposed to be residing at, near his old house on Puma Path in Maysville, then what is the court doing about it? Why haven't they done anything sooner? It's been now 2 weeks since they were aware of that, and I mean, his next court date is not until another 2 weeks from now, or at least a week and a half, a week. So what are they doing? What is the court doing? Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, I was very aware of this, that area where Suzanne and Barry Morphew lived didn't have great cell service. I don't know if the court was aware of how bad the cell service was. Obviously, they do now from this company. Let me make sure I have the company right. Intervention Technology. So I went over the intervention technology report as well as the state's motion to modify the bond conditions, as well as the amending bond conditions that Judge Patrick Murphy made on September 20th before he was released from jail. People are saying, I'm sure Linda is on it, yeah. Again, this company that's overseeing his ankle monitoring system is out of Fremont County and Jefferson County. So that's not in Chaffee County. So he can leave and travel outside of Chaffee County to meet with his attorneys who work in Denver, Drew Nelson and Iris Eden. And then it also says that he can travel outside of Chaffee County to service and maintain the GPS unit. I'm going to read another part of the intervention technology report again. It says the defendant reported to the intervention company on September 20th, so the day he was released from jail, to begin GPS monitoring. The intervention respectfully informs the court that the GPS monitor is unable to pick up a GPS or cell signal in the area of the defendant's home. Due to this lack of GPS and cell signal, the GPS monitor is unable to provide any communication information or location points when the defendant reaches the area of his current residence. Due to the lack of communication and location points, intervention is unable to provide the court with any battery or tamper alert information when the defendant is at or near his residence. And they're referring to near the Puma Path home. He's staying a couple hundred yards from where Suzanne and Barry Morphew lived in Maysville, Colorado. That's a good question. Does he have to notify when he leaves the county each time? That's a good question. I'm not really sure. Obviously would track his appointments as far as with his attorneys and things like that. And then obviously this company intervention would notify when, he leaves Chaffee County, and if he already has a scheduled maintenance or meeting or to get his monitoring checked on by Jefferson County, I believe, or Fremont County, they would already be aware of that. Yeah, someone's saying the prosecution should have been aware of the bad GPS service. Yeah, I'm sure they probably were. And again, Linda Stanley, the DA, she had filed this motion to modify bond conditions after this report was filed as well. Someone's asking if the daughter's still in college this semester. I believe she graduated, so she is no longer in college, the oldest daughter. And if you haven't read the arrest affidavit for Shoshone Dark, the woman accused of having a relationship with Barry Morphew, who was arrested for trespassing at the Puma Path property where Suzanne and Barry used to live, that's on our website, fox21news.com. Yeah, there was a restraining, it was like no contact order with, there was a lot of people. It was Jean and Martin Ritter, the neighbors, which is again mentioned in the state's motion for modifying the bond conditions. Also, there was also no contact order for, I believe it was, you know, Cassidy Cordova, Morgan Gentile, Rod Oswald, Holly Wilson, Sheila Oliver, Jeff Libler. I'm trying to think if that was all of them. There was a long list of them. Someone's asking, why do you think Barry asked for immunity? That's only a question he can answer, I think. So I'm sure that, you know, the judge will go over the motions filed by the defense as well as the state on October 13th, which is Barry Morphew's next court appearance or court proceedings. I'm not exactly sure if he has to be there in person or if it can just be on WebEx. Again, this week, his suspected girlfriend, I guess the woman who's accused of having a relationship with Barry Morphew, she's supposed to be in court for a restraining order against her on Thursday of this week. And that's not something to do with the trespassing charge. That is something else. Someone's asking if why was there no protective order for Jeff Puckett? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't feel like he needs one. I don't know. I'll answer one more question. I'm trying to keep this short. So if you missed what I said earlier, please, once this goes public, once it goes online, you should be able to fast forward and rewind and things like that. Oh, thank you, Patty. Any more questions? Someone's asking, why would they let out the news that the GPS isn't working in his ankle bracelet? I wouldn't think that they would want him to know that. I'm sure, you know, whatever is filed, the defense can see it, his attorneys, as well as the state. So I'm sure, you know, both sides have already, the prosecution and his attorneys have already seen this report from the intervention incorporation or the company. Intervention technology report. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in last minute. If you missed earlier, please go back. And if you missed what was going on with Shoshone Dark, the woman who was also in the arrest affidavit, that Barry Morphew was seen at a hotel in Colorado Springs the weekend of Valentine's this last year. She was charged with trespassing at the Morphew old home on Puma Path in Maysville, Colorado. You can go and read that entire arrest affidavit, and you can see pictures of surveillance footage and things like that on our website, fox21news.com. And I can link it to this video once it gets published, but I just wanted to come on here real quick and talk a little bit about you know, the intervention technology report, as well as the state's motion to modify the bond conditions, as well as the judge's order amending bond conditions. So thanks so much again for tuning in tonight, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.